Now, I can't help it that I'm custom made. I can't help it that I look good, smell good, can dance all night long. I can't help it that I'm the greatest wrestler alive today.
Got baby face, me big boss man. Me like America, me got good plan. Mexico water, make Gulf US survey. Me make Zelensky say thanks to my face. Me got baby face, me got big cheer. Trump bad, Trump good, me no care. Me write big book, kill billies and stuff. Now me important, we're tired tough. Me go Yale school, me learn big word. Now me forget everything me heard. Silicon people give me job, me take. Now me like Trump, me make no mistake. Yo, it's JD Advance. Me fight walk folk, me say never die. Me protect kids, me born liberal. Him, them, there. America simple, only two gender. Me face, me big boss man. Me like America, me got good plan. Mexico water, make Gulf US survey. Me make Zelensky say thanks to my face. So many gender for my agenda. Went on a bender, execo the sender. Might take Panama just like na. Might take Gaza, pop then a plaza. With this my majesty.
Well, I had my fucking microphone muted. What's going on, everyone? Welcome into Cobra Cast 199. I am your host, Jeremy Prime, Mage IDOT of Unit 199. Nubbin dropping a proper to get us started in celebration of a wonderful day. Do you know what? I'm going to take the chance of a copyright hit. Because of Nubbin's proper 199, I have an exclusive JD Advanced clip for all of you, okay? An exclusive clip. I could get hit with copyright, but we're going to celebrate this wonderful day with a brand new JD Advanced clip, followed by Sydney Sweeney. Are you ready for this? Are you ready? It may bring a tear to your eye. Be prepared. It may bring a tear to your eye. Here we go.
Let's make our escape. Come on, let's go there. Let's ask, can we stay? Can you take me higher? To a place where the line and sea.
Let's go! JD Advanced, baby! There it is. There it is. And of course, to celebrate the proper 199, Sydney Sweeney in the house. Thank you, Nubbin, for the proper 199. So there's a lot going on with JD Advanced celebrating all over the internet because Don Lemon has been arrested on federal charges, ladies and gentlemen. Now, there's a lot to this. There's reports that we could see him in court today. Now, I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but I've seen many reports saying that we could see him in court today. And the meltdown has been pretty glorious, to say the least. Don Lemon could make his first court appearance as early as today, as he has now been arrested and taken into federal custody. Let's see that perp walk.
Alert, journalist Don Lemon has been arrested in connection with an anti-ICE protest at a church in St. Paul, Minnesota. Bill Malusian joins us now with more on this breaking news. Hey, Bill.
Thank you, Nubbin, for the 25.
Hey, Charlie, good morning to you. Our colleague David Spunt and I getting this breaking news from multiple law enforcement sources just minutes ago, confirming that former CNN anchor Don Lemon has been arrested by federal agents in Los Angeles just after midnight this morning at a hotel. This obviously all in connection with that storming of a church in St. Paul, Minnesota by that group of anti-ICE agitators. Now, remember, the feds had gone to judges to try to get Don Lemon arrested before. They went to a magistrate judge in Minnesota who didn't sign off on an arrest warrant for him. Then it went to a judge above him. He didn't sign off on an arrest warrant for him. Then it went to an appeals court. They also decided not to sign off for an arrest warrant for him. So there was experts who were predicting that perhaps the feds would go to a grand jury. It remains to be seen if that's what happened here, but we can confirm that Don Lemon was arrested in Los Angeles by federal agents just after midnight Los Angeles time at a hotel. Now, typically, standard procedure with an arrest like this is the defendant will likely make their first court appearance sometime the same day. So there's a chance we may see Don Lemon make his first court appearance in Los Angeles sometime today. But obviously, this is going to grab all sorts of headlines. 3 other protesters from that church storming, have already been arrested, including who the feds say was the organizer of that protest. The woman in the middle there is a school board member in St. Paul, and then the mugshot on the right is an online personality / agitator, if you want to call him that. He's known as the woke farmer. Those were the 3 people that the feds had already arrested. But we have confirmed that Don Lemon has now been arrested in Los Angeles in connection with that viral incident. We all saw the video of it that spread and drew widespread condemnation. The feds have been going after these people on FACE Act violations. So this is still breaking news. Once we get more details,
we'll see what happens. But this was, I believe, 2 days ago. Nicki Minaj, because Don Lemon attacked her, Nicki Minaj was asked about Don Lemon. Here you go.
You called for Don Lemon's arrest over his church stunt in Minneapolis. He's since called you racist, unhinged, homophobic, and out of your depth. Anything you'd like to say to Don Lemon?
Cocksucker, stop.
Dang it, savage.
Cocksucker, stop. Cocksucker, stop.
Let's go. Now, what's interesting here is the reaction from many people. In fact, TMZ seems to be panicking right now. This is what TMZ had to say.
On the next TMZ Live, Don Lemon arrested for covering a church protest.
And what we say on the show could get us arrested.
Get scared, TMZ. Get very, very scared. You know, TMZ, they've had, it's clear that they hate Trump, that they despise Trump, and they have very left-leaning approaches. Now, I have not watched their video, but they do have a full video on YouTube, and we're going to check this out right now. So is this it right here? Yeah, so right here is their video, and here we go. Don Lemon arrested. This could change American democracy forever. I wonder how they're going to approach this.
Administration wonders why people are saying. So the Trump administration wonders why people are saying that they are trying to form a dictatorship. Well, look at the landscape. Arresting Don Lemon
for committing a fucking crime. Yeah. Good Lord, man. These people are just insane. JRG Project says Don Lemon will absolutely love prison. I'm sure his cellmates will too. Good riddance. Nubbin with a 25 on top of the proper 199. Thank you. Let's see. Stormbreaker says, Jeremy, you didn't read my super last night. Sources tell me Don Lemon dropped the soap last night. Burbshit says lemons are officially gay. Brighton Matt says, hey, Jeremy, did you see Hassan has been banned? Yeah, but I'd never go for those headlines. A ban on Twitch for someone like Hassan is basically it's a 12-hour vacation is all it is. Dr. Tripp says, Cobra Cast brought to us by Jay's success this morning. Jeffrey Hill says, if they really want to punish Don Lemon, send him to a women's prison. Captain JP says, JD Advance sings the hits of Creed Tax. Nubbin says, Nicki Minaj curses tax. That's a good tax right there. All right, let's listen in.
Who covered a protest in Minneapolis is
Covered a
just
protest.
insane, ridiculous, dictator-like. This is the playbook that dictators use.
That hand signal right there looks a little dictatorish, Harvey. A little dictatorish hand movement there, buddy. Might want to chill on that one, okay? Getting a little nervous with you doing those hand gestures.
This is the playbook that dictators use to destroy democracies and take the will of the people away. It is as simple as that. The First Amendment is the First Amendment for a reason. It is considered the preferred amendment when you have to start balancing what's more important. The framers of the Constitution knew that a free press was essential to a democracy. Without a free press, you don't have a democracy. And it's real clear that Donald Trump and company doesn't want a free press. The idea that a journalist, which Don Lemon has been for 30 years, would walk into a church and film a demonstration which is of national interest.
Hey, Harvey, no one is above the law. By the way, you went in and disrupted a church service that had nothing to do with the situation at hand. You literally, Don Lemon went in there and disrupted a place of worship. That is not journalism in any capacity whatsoever. You went there with the sole intent to be a troublemaker, to harass people that had absolutely nothing to do with the situation. Private property, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if that would be listed private property as a place of worship, a church. So would that be considered public? I'm not sure how they would view that. But either way, there was nothing going on there for him to be a journalist over.
And then to say somehow, when you watch the video, they say he's part of the protest.
Not public,
watch
no.
that video.
Private, so it's private
He
property.
is covering the protest. He is covering it. That's what journalists do. I covered riots. I was a local
I guess the
reporter.
thing I would say is like it wouldn't be deemed trespassing until he was trespassed, right? Like that's the reason I'm asking it from that perspective. So it's not like he's going into someone's house. It's not like he's breaking and entering. It is a place that is open to the public. Unless they tell him to leave, then he would be deemed as trespassing after the police are called upon. So that's the reason I ask about the private versus public aspect, because it is open to the public. So anyone can technically go in, but if he's asked to leave and then the cops are called, that would be where it's trespassing.
In Los Angeles for 15 years, and I covered riots and floods and earthquakes and all sorts of things where I had to step into areas where there were police, where there was activity, private property. When you're covering an event like this, like a protest,
It wasn't a fucking protest. They went there to disrupt a church service that was not reporting on anything. There was nothing to report on. You went in there with the sole intent to disrupt a place of worship because you wanted attention. That is not journalism. Good Lord.
Covered many. You step into it. And that's what journalists do. And that's what Don Lemon did. The idea that the Justice Department is saying he walked onto private property, that is insane. A church invites everybody in. Have you ever seen a church with a no trespassing sign?
First of all, a church does not invite everyone in to go in and disrupt. If Don Lemon, see, you're being manipulative as fuck. If Don Lemon walked into that church to go and listen to the service and partake in the service, no one is telling him he can't go in there. Don Lemon walked in with agitators and a camera crew and disrupted the service, you fucking idiot.
Saying no journalists allowed. Have you ever seen any house of worship that says that? It is insane that they're making this stupid argument transparent. And yet a grand jury indicted Don Lemon after a magistrate said there is insufficient evidence. Well, a grand jury will indict anybody because Don Lemon doesn't appear before the grand jury. Abby Lowell, his lawyer, doesn't appear before the grand jury. The Justice Department says what the Justice Department wants the grand jury to believe, and almost every time they believe it. It's all the way it's skewed. This is a ridiculous assault. And I don't want to say just on the First Amendment. It's a ridiculous assault on democracy. Trump administration should be ashamed of itself, but they're not. And they will continue to do this. And
TMZ confirming everything that a lot of people speculated when they laughed and cheered at the murder of Charlie Kirk. They tried to lie and tell you that that's not what they were doing when that was clearly what they were doing. You are now exposing yourselves. You are showing that you have a deep Trump derangement syndrome at your place of business. And look, you have the right to have that, but don't lie and tell people that you weren't cheering when Charlie Kirk was assassinated, because you absolutely were.
And they are going after journalists. They're getting search warrants for their homes. It is obvious what's happening in this country, people. Look at what is happening.
Yeah, this is what we voted for. So here's what I love. On one hand, you have the idiots out there like Dave Smith saying nothing's happening, nothing ever happens. And on the other hand, you have this clown with TDS who says that he's a literal dictator and they're going around arresting people, destroying democracy. The reality of it is that we are getting exactly what we voted for. Now, it takes time to cook. It's taken a little longer than some people would like for things to start happening. And there's a whole different, it's a lot more complicated than what people on the internet want to admit. It's not like Trump can just go like, here's a list of people I want arrested, arrest them. That's not how this works. I know people on the internet think that's how this shit works. That's not how this works. It takes time. All right. I mean, there's a reason why if you want a real good actual meal, it takes time to cook that meal, or you can just go get fast food. If you want this cheap shit that's going to make you feel like shit, which is what I eat more than anything, then you go get fast food. If you want a good, a well-cooked meal, it's going to take time. It takes time to cook. All right. So let the Trump administration cook.
You're going to look back in 2 years if somebody doesn't stand up to them, and I know people are now, but you're going to look back in 2 years and say, wow, we didn't see that coming. Well, Neville Chamberlain saw.
Dude, you are stumbling over your words more than Candace Owens does. I mean, you can tell that he's really twisted up right now over this, which makes me very, very happy. In fact, and I'm not one to make fun of someone who can't talk very well, but there's this account called Candace Owens Trying to Read. It is the greatest Twitter account ever.
Get comfortable, you guys, because it is going to be a long week. I have so many explosive revelations to share with you.
Revelations.
And he used to come in every day with a debacle, and he would ask us to just work through the philosophical question. I remember that whole debacle, this debacle with her earrings. The Hamptons debacle came up. out of racist ideas, right? It wasn't because people were just trying to delegitimize him. It was because this must just all be crazy rantings. Every day, Candace is up on this show like Miss Cleo from the 90s and just like predicting what she thinks happened. It's such a ridiculous way to try to delegitimize the research that we have done. The chairman of Turning Point USA to answer, okay? If you can't compartmentalize, then I don't see how you're going to.
Anyway, back to this idiot.
Could have saw it coming, and he didn't. And we don't want to be in that position. So wise up, everybody, because it's obvious what's happening here. This is an outrage.
Shut up. Shut up, TMZ. Nobody
So the
cares.
Trump
Nobody cares. Black Guard for 20 says Don Lemon was not a journalist when he went into that church service. He was an active participant activist. Once he crossed that threshold, he could have just stood outside to try to interview and been fine, but he didn't. Absolutely. Red Mage for 20 says great with them getting Don Lemon, but I also want to see the guy that said come and get me get arrested since he was screaming and harassing people directly in the church. I hope that guy gets thrown in prison. He did get thrown in. He did get arrested. That guy has been arrested. So just to clear that up, yes, he has been arrested along with Don Lemon and another one of the activists along with them. But yes, that guy was arrested. So Nubbin says arrest the TMZ tax. TMZ, shut the F up tax. Woof. TMZ, you're making me some money today. Eating a well-cooked meal tax. It's a debacle tax. Holy shit. Nubbin. Mad Lad. MJ says Don Lemon arrested tax. Hail to 199. Hail MAGA. Matt Frog says send him to Arkham with Diddy, Maduro, and Luigi. JRG Project says I'm liking Nikki more and more. By the way, arrest TMZ too. This type of reporting started with them. Superb Legend says let Tucker do the same exact thing at right-wing protest at a mosque. And what do you think the left would do? 100%. We all know the answer to that, by the way. We all know exactly what they would do. So it will be interesting to see if we do see Don Lemon appear in court today. We shall see. It will be interesting. So look at this. CNN, the FBI's arrest of our former colleague Don Lemon raises profoundly concerning questions about press freedom and the First Amendment. All of the usual suspects are crying about this situation. We don't care. We don't care. They are very, very worried because they are finally being held accountable for their lies and their bullshit. So I am here for it. Bring it on. Your tears are delicious. No one feels sorry for you. None of you. Let's see here. We've got oh no. No. That sucks. Catherine O'Hara, famous for her work in Home Alone, has passed away at 71. Damn. That means the mom and the dad have both passed away from Home Alone now. That is so sad. Wow. Rest in peace. That is breaking news right there. That is awful. That is sad. 71's a good life, good long life. I don't know if she was sick, but man, that's sad to hear. Very, very sad to hear. She did. I mean, her and Macaulay Culkin appeared not too long ago together, I believe, right? I feel like her and him appeared publicly not too long ago. That's really sad, though. So RIP to her. her legend will live on because Home Alone is a movie that will last forever for generations and generations. People will be watching Home Alone until the end of time because it is the greatest Christmas movie ever. Home Alone going to hit different this year, says Johnny. Yeah. But rest in peace to her. Okay. Let's see where we're at. Laughing Heffron for 20 says, hey, man, it's been a while. Just want to say God bless you and everyone here. Sent you a message on Discord. If you'd like to check it out, probably do it again. I'm really disappointed in Trump. I'll let you know in private. Other news, I have been improving a lot in boxing and Muay Thai. I got sick and had to take 2-week break but I'm back to it, and I will ask again maybe tonight if I have installed Battlefield 6. Well, I got another Cobra Cast tonight. So no gaming for me. There's way too much news to cover. But good to hear you're back and over the sickness. A lot of people have gotten this cold or flu or whatever. I got it. I was out for a week. It was not fun. It was not fun at all. But yeah, so we'll have another Cobra Cast later tonight because there's just too much of a good meltdown going on with all of this. So, okay. Don Lemon, there's more stuff going on with him. So let's go ahead and pull all this up. So CNN releasing this, and we don't care. Just in, here is Todd Blanche right here with this asked about Don Lemon.
Do you have a reaction to the arrest of Don Lemon overnight?
Do I have a reaction to what?
To Don Lemon's arrest overnight?
Do I have a reaction to it? I don't know what that means. What are you looking for me to do? Jump up and down? No, I don't have a reaction to it. I don't know that that the charges are unsealed yet. So no, I can't. I'm not going to comment on that.
You want me to jump up and down? Yes, we actually do. We would actually like to see that. So right here, remember in 2018, an unhinged Don Lemon declares that Trump and his supporters are racist.
Taken aback by my comments. I want to be very clear here. I don't really care if you are. I hope you are. For years now, it has been, 2.5 years since he officially entered the political arena. For years, I and others have been trying to tell you, the American people, that this man was exhibiting bigoted behavior. I asked him about it a number of times and he denied it, but kept up the racist rhetoric and behavior throughout the campaign and now while he's in the White House. His supporters.
Hey, guess what, Don Lemon? Guess what? Guess what? Don Lemon, 2026, and he's still in the fucking White House, baby.
Made excuses, continue to make excuses for him. Some of them people I personally know. Some of them are his friends, as a matter of fact, and I can hear them now telling me, oh, Donald didn't mean that. Donald isn't a racist, or just people who don't know him. I think it was taken out of context. I'm not sure. How many examples do you need of this? But he is a racist. And for all of you who over the last few years have uttered that tired, lazy, uninformed, uneducated, ignorant response.
How effective was this right here? Don Lemon has been fired from his job at CNN since this. He has now been arrested. He has been shamed by Elon Musk when Elon gave him the benefit of a interview when Elon first bought Twitter. And President Trump is still in office. How'd that work out for you, Don? How'd all this work out for you? You've only made Trump more popular since then.
Of calling me and others who point out racist behavior racists. You know what you can go do? I can't say that, but you can go read a book, a history book, because you might learn that people from some of those shithole countries were slaves who were brought here by force to help build this country, and then start your learning process from there. You also might want to do some self-examination. What does it say about you that no matter what, you continue to make excuses for this man, for his vile behavior, this sort of vile behavior? Doesn't that make you just as bad, if not worse?
Yes.
Than him?
Yes. Next. See, again, the point is to not try to defend these accusations. Just accept it and go, yeah, so fuck you going to do about it? I don't care if you're offended. I don't care if you're offended. It doesn't matter to me if you're offended by anything I say or do or believe. I don't care. So yeah, I'm it's like the Eminem song. I am whatever you say I am. It's whatever. I don't care what you fucking think.
Him. And I have to be honest. I was not shocked that Donald Trump reportedly called the majority of Black and Hispanic countries or continents shitholes. I wasn't shocked. I'm not. I'm really not outraged by it. I'm not outraged. I'm tired of being outraged, as a matter of fact. I've been outraged too many times. It's so more important to be strategic than to be outraged. Some people can be outraged, but it's more important for level-headed people to be strategic rather than outraged. Otherwise, it becomes a sky is falling situation every time he says something dumb or stupid or racist. Here's why I'm not outraged. Because people of color warned you.
JMNZZ450. Figgy McGee got arrested. Bahaha.
You called us racists or race baiters. I'm not mad that you call me those things because I'm not one of them. So why are you mad if someone calls you a racist if you know you're not one? Think about that. If you know you're not a racist, then why are you mad about it when someone calls out racism?
What type of fucking logic is that? So like, what the fuck? This is the left right here. If you're not a racist and I call you a racist, you shouldn't be mad if I label you this horrible thing if you're not this horrible thing. What the actual fuck? That is insane. Listen to that logic one more time.
Why are you mad if someone calls you a racist if you know you're not one? Think about that. If you know you're not a racist, then why are you mad about it when someone calls out racism? What does that say about you? You know what those Black and brown folks who you call racist are saying now? They're saying you bought it, you own it. And as we say in the South, and you know what this means.
So by your same logic, if the shithole countries that Trump is calling shithole countries aren't in fact shithole countries, why should they be mad about it, Don? Why should anyone be mad about anything that Donald Trump has ever said? If they know it's not true, then why are they mad about it? That means you can literally just say anything. Anyone can say anything, make any kind of accusation, any kind of label, any kind of claim, and you can't get mad about it if it's not true. Why are you getting mad about it? What an absolute idiotic take. But again, this is CNN, and even if he has been fired from CNN since, this represents CNN to a T right here. This is who they are. This is what they are about. And this is what they represent. And this is what they believe in. It's absolutely crazy. My goodness. Now, again, there are a lot of questions as to what the next steps are for Don Lemon. And I don't know the answer to that question. We got Judge Napolitano right here. I'd be interested. I haven't heard what he said, but what's the next steps for Don Lemon?
Judge Andrew Napolitano is our senior judicial analyst. Good morning to you.
Doesn't Napolitano hate Trump these days, which is so weird because I feel like he used to support Trump, but I feel like he hates Trump now, but whatever.
With this breaking news.
It's a strange case. 5 different judges reviewed the evidence against Don Lemon. A magistrate judge who said no, a district court judge who happens to be the chief judge of that district who said no, and 3 appellate judges in the 8th Circuit said no. It is almost unheard of for the DOJ to appeal a denial of the issue of an arrest warrant. They went to the magistrate judge. Here's our evidence against the people that raided the...
So he has massive TDS. I know he doesn't like Trump. We'll see if that affects his ability to talk about what this process means and what the next steps are. But I feel like somebody said he never supported Trump, so maybe I'm wrong about that. I thought he did in the beginning, but maybe I'm wrong about that.
Church, we want to arrest all of them. The magistrate judge said there's evidence against this one, there's enough against this one, enough against that one. There's no evidence against Don Lemon. The district judge said no evidence against Don Lemon. The 3 appellate court judges refused to get involved, so they effectively agreed with what the lower judges had decided. So how did they arrest him? The only other way they could have arrested him legally is to have gone to a grand jury and presented the same evidence that these 5 judges said didn't exist and persuaded a majority of the grand jury to indict him. If he was not indicted by a grand jury, then this was not an arrest, it was a kidnapping, because you have these 5 federal judges saying we're not.
This is fucking crazy. Holy shit. He's off his meds. He's off his meds.
Signing off on an arrest warrant.
Yeah, but that's far-fetched, right? It doesn't appear to be a kidnapping.
It's almost inconceivable to me, because they know the laws well or better than I do, that they would have to have some legal basis to arrest him other than their own wish to arrest him, and that must have come from a grand jury.
So let's take it on the merits of where it is today. They were able to at least secure some type of charge based on whichever evidence that we don't have to show just yet.
But we don't know what it is.
We don't know what it is, exactly. But we do know that he is in federal custody.
Correct. He's in federal custody in Los Angeles because that's where they found him.
Yeah.
He's going to appear before a federal magistrate judge in Los Angeles. He'll be released on his own recognizance. Then he's got to appear before a federal district court judge in the district where the grand jury sat under the Constitution. That has to be the district in which the crime allegedly occurred, which
back to
means
Minnesota.
back to Minneapolis, where all this started.
Yeah. In terms of the charges, what they possibly are, it hasn't been announced yet, but there have been reports of what they are, which I read earlier. The FACE Act, a violation of the FACE Act, sticks out to me. If indeed that is one of the charges, what does that hold?
Well, that he's
if charged and convicted,
right, 5 years in jail if convicted. He's probably being charged, if I could guess, with conspiracy to violate the FACE Act. They probably have some people with whom he participated in conversations about how to get into the church, because it does appear from the videos that he didn't do anything even remotely criminal.
Even when the pastor asked him to leave and he did not leave.
Well, the other journalist didn't leave either.
See, you're so full of shit. You're so full of shit. Like, even the guy just said so. Even when the pastor asked him to leave and he didn't leave, he literally recorded his crimes. He put his crimes on video.
You know,
does that make it right?
Well, they have a great question, Sean. I can't answer it yes or no, but I can say that there are numerous Supreme Court opinions that say bona fide journalists can stay at the scene of a crime if the acts are still on.
What's the crime?
Going, as long as their presence there is not interfering with law enforcement. Now, when the pastor said leave, law enforcement hadn't even gotten there yet.
Hey, but if it was found that he, along with the organizers of this, to go inside of that church and again stop that service.
If he stopped the service, it's a federal crime.
Okay.
If he didn't leave when they said leave, that's simple trespassing. The feds don't even have the authority to prosecute.
Conspiracy to violate the FACE Act, and if he's convicted there, what penalty is he looking at?
Okay, conspiracy is an agreement to commit a crime amongst 2 or more people, one of whom takes a step in furtherance of the agreement. So if he agreed to commit the crime and then did nothing, but one of the others with whom he agreed took a step in furtherance, then he can be charged with conspiracy. 5 years. Conspiracy to commit the crime is generally the same punishment as the actual crime itself.
So I just want to break this down and end it with, let's put a bow on it. This could be a serious charge.
It's a serious charge
for Don Lemon.
It's a serious blow to journalism. I do believe that some other journalists were involved who are not nearly as well known as Don Lemon. We'll know more about that later today.
Well, we will see how this all plays out. Now, right here, ultimate FAFO moment. Brian Stelter looked like he was about to cry as CNN was forced to read out live on air that their former employee Don Lemon had been arrested. I have not heard this yet. Here we go.
We do know that Don Lemon was arrested last night in Los Angeles in the 11 o'clock hour local time. I'm told that by a source that he was in a hotel lobby on his way to an event related to covering the Grammy Awards. And that is when he was arrested by the agents and taken into custody. It is expected he will appear in court in Los Angeles this morning and that the charges against him will be unsealed. Now, as we've been discussing, Lemon was part of a larger attempt by the Justice Department to bring.
At this moment, we haven't talked a lot about Brian Stelter, but I think it's important to play this clip right here for historical purposes.
On Friday, I was about to go get dinner for my kids when Donald Trump Jr. attacked me in his speech at CPAC. Something about me looking like a gender-neutral potato head.
And there you have it right there. Let's continue on.
Bring charges against a number of people, some from the protesting group last week, and that the judge had rejected that complaint against some of the individuals, including Don Lemon. He had suggested if DOJ wanted to go forward, they might want to look toward going before a grand jury. So that would follow the process that played out, where the judge did not believe that there was sufficient evidence. But if a grand jury did, then that would be the route that the Justice Department could take. We do know that he.
Little Brian Stelter, super upset that his butt buddy Don Lemon has been arrested. Freaking hilarious. Right here, this one. Now this kind of annoyed me because Pam Bondi has responded to this, and Pam Bondi is that person that needs positive reinforcement at all times. So like she released a statement. She's like, at my direction, Don Lemon has been arrested. And it's like, we don't need you to constantly tell us it's at your direction. Like, we just don't. It's really annoying to hear her just constantly take credit for this shit. Donna Lemonade, why are you so gay? Tax from Nubbin. Giving my reaction tax from Nubbin. Laughing Avrin says, well, maybe next week or the weekend you'll play some Battlefield. I'm going to keep bugging you about it. Sorry if I don't. If I do, I don't like doing that. But again, God bless you and God bless the chat. Hail to the chat. Thank you, Laughing Avrin. Appreciate it, man. Hope you're doing well. Ministry of Wrong Things is getting sick of the media pretending to play dumb in order to escape accountability. Lemon is on video explicitly being told by protesters that he's one of them. He broke the law to the letter. Yes, he did. 8 o'clock says, in the words of so many leftists, you have a responsibility to use your platform to encourage change. So how about not breaking the law on camera, Don Lemon? Agreed completely. Miki Ventura says, didn't they lock up J6 News people that went in? I think so. MAGA Mike says, for Don Lemon's intentionally dropping the soap tax. David says, pull this stunt on a mosque. 8 o'clock says, so this guy is right. We need to recognize the good times we're in now because Trump won't be here forever. It's true. John Jones says, has anyone seen Candace Owens and Jasmine Crockett in the same room? Mark Andre Roy says, Revelations 6:7 says, Candace dumb. Lord Bothus says, Candace was obviously Beardo's classmate at the Quality Leering Center. Andrew Sarah says, I'm late, but play the Screw Your Freedom Arnie clip for Don Lemon. That's true. Man, that Arnold clip was bad when he said screw your freedoms. That was awful. Piano Dean says, did you see that Hakeem Jeffrey said Kristi Noem needs to be put on ice permanently? Did he say that? No. Hailstorm, see if you can find that for me. Zinni Biscuits is not sure what's worse, listening to Lemon or a 400-pound Canadian pretending to be Muslim talking about how awful America is. Mr. Bentham says, the next step is practicing how to drop soap. Zug says, thanks for felting Jeremy, the felting of Jeremy Hambley. Hail Kino Casino. Ministry of Wrong Things says, Babylon be chilling. If they can arrest Don Lemon for something as simple as breaking the law, imagine what they can do to you. Okay, that's a great headline right there. That is amazing. So here's Mike Davis, who says, go to hell. Tells Don Lemon to go to hell. Look at that.
Don Lemon. We had on this program you, but Trisha McLaughlin, also Harmeet Dillon, and everyone said,
thank you, Nubbin.
Lest you not be unfaithful or not trust the plan, believe us, Don Lemon will be arrested. And you said that, and you talked us through what was going to happen. And hot damn, Mike, were you right? Here's your vindication moment. Let's go.
Well, I've said this all along. Pam Bondi is bold and fearless. She's tough as hell. So is Harmeet Dillon. So is Kash Patel, Todd Blanche. the president has a phenomenal Justice Department team this time around. It's not a bunch of wimps that we saw in the last term who were even scared to arrest BLM writers. Pam Bondi is not messing around. She turned Don Lemon into prison lemonade today, right? So she's this guy. I don't know if it's out there in the public yet. I presume there was a grand jury indictment here under federal charges under both the FACE Act and under the Klan Act, 18 USC Section 248, the FACE Act, where it makes it a crime to storm a church and terrorize the parishioners like Don Lemon and his co-conspirators did. It's also a violation of conspiracy against rights, the Klan Act under 18 USC Section 241. The Biden Justice Department charged these crimes regularly when little old Christians went into abortion clinics and prayed. So Don
Wasn't this the primary focus of that act, was to protect the abortion weirdos out there? I think that's what the primary focus of this thing was.
Lemon and his fellow Klansmen should certainly be charged. And to these Confederate politicians like Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, Minneapolis Mayor.
So it's like the Don Lemon's getting eaten up by the leftist bullshit is kind of poetic. It's kind of poetic.
Jacob Fry, these modern day Confederates and their modern day Klansmen like Don Lemon and his co-conspirators. This is unacceptable. It's totally unacceptable to disrupt a house of worship, any house of worship, whether it's Christians, Jews, Muslims, Hindus, whatever. It's out of bounds. It's illegal. You can't do that. And Don Lemon was so stupid that he kept doubling, tripling, quadrupling down and going on TV and basically laying out the map for Pam Bondi and Harmeet Dillon to indict him, which they have done apparently. And this idea that you're a journalist. First of all, Don Lemon's a fake journalist, but even if he's a journalist, journalists do not have a free pass to break federal law. Journalists do not have a free pass to storm churches and terrify parishioners, including little kids. Don Lemon.
I mean, I don't recall the left ever saying that Alex Jones was a journalist, so he had the right to do all the things that they claimed that he did. They pick and choose the arguments that they want to have. Suddenly, Don Lemon is a journalist when he breaks the fucking law and did 10 times worse than anything Alex Jones has ever done. But yet, when it came to Alex Jones, they're like, Alex Jones should be destroyed forever. His life should be ruined because he said something we don't like. And it's just like, do you have any substance to add to this? Like, other than he just gave an opinion that you don't like? Whereas Don Lemon physically goes in and disrupts a church service, and they claim, well, he has the right to do that. He's a journalist. What? It's crazy. But here we are. Every day gets stupider. Every single day gets dumber with the left-wing lunatics out there. Right here. I'm gonna find it. So right here is Pam Bondi. Her tweet, at my direction. It's like, we don't need. It's so, it sounds so insecure when she's like, at my direction. It's like, we know that it's at your direction. You don't have to say at my direction. Like, we get it. Like, you don't have to, like, you get credit for it when people know you're doing the job. You don't have to tell people you did it. It's really cringy. I mean, she's her own worst enemy. You know, she's made everybody, look at her differently since the Epstein stuff. Rightfully so, by the way. Because the Epstein influencer thing was one of the most embarrassing things to date. And so I just, it's just ridiculous to see how this is all played out. But either way, Pam Bondi, at my direction. Thank you, Pam. We had no idea. We had no idea that this was at your direction until you said at my direction. So there you have it. Good for you. Oh, good for you. Tommy says, when you learn judges are activists and use power with political agenda, hearing how many judges reject a case means nothing. Taker says, Don's only crime was saying, hey, it's Don coming at you with another video. And today we're forming a mob, invading a place of worship. Sean Carter says, Lemon said I should wait behind because they'll recognize me and blow their cover. And that moment he became a collaborator. Yep. JRG Project says today, Potato cried over a lemon. Who knew CNN was bought by Food Network? Vlad the Man says, Lemon trespassed against us, so according to the Bible, that's probably a crime. Mr. Bentham says, this is not okay. It's just not, Mr. Potato Head. Eric K says, do not forget they blocked access to the kids downstairs and terrorized them. This is kidnapping, among other things. Taco Woman Sandy Ravage says, no one is above the law, Lemon. That's what he said. That's what he said. Stream Hero says, what's really annoying is hearing Pam Bondi say anything in general. She's better not seen and not heard. Still wish Trump would replace her. I am Brockatron says, the best part is if he didn't rag on J6 and how bad we all are at the same time, the right is benevolent enough to forgive, but you can go too far. Bye-bye. Into the 643 says, Don Lemon's mugshot will be hilarious. If we get it, I hope we do. Brockatron says, Dems say Trump wants to erode institutions, but Dems also want to dismantle every domestic security department border to border. A woman saying it makes it even more ironic. Who will defend them then? Zinni Biscuit says, at my direction, I'm sending this super chat. I would have had no idea if you didn't say at your direction. You see there? Salty Seas on Rumble for 20 says, Pam Bondi needs to go. She is by far the most unpopular person in the Trump administration. Nubbin for 10 says, Pam Bondi, just do your job, tax. Thank you, Nubbin. Edward says, Catherine O'Hara passed away from Home Alone mom. Yep, we talked about that about 10 minutes ago. Ministry of Wrong Things says, the Klan Act on MLK's birthday. Bahaha. Okay, next up on the list, because we do have more to talk about, because it's been a fun day already. We'll keep an eye on the Don Lemon stuff to see if anything happens from that. Don't know if it will, but do you guys remember this guy, this influencer guy that did the whole like F Trump and F ICE? He like pulled his jacket off. He had this carefully edited video. He was a tough guy. He was a real tough guy. Well, guess what? He effed around and he found out because his sponsors dropped him after that video. Harley Dave says, at my direction, Jeremy will read this. There it is. See there? The only reason I had to read it is because it was his direction. At my direction, tax. At my direction, tax. Bondi is compensating with that line. So let's listen to what he says now. The tough guy, the tough influencer guy. Guess what?
I owe you all an apology. For days now, I have been lying to myself, saying things like, I'm a good person. I've done a lot of good for the world. It's all bullshit deflection to keep me from taking responsibility for my own actions. I've built this.
I know it's quiet. I can't boost it anymore.
Inclusivity and kindness. And I lost sight of that in my own ego.
Hang on. Let me see if I can find a better video because it is low as fuck. This clown. This guy's such a clown. Here we go. Here we go right here.
For days now, I have been lying to myself, saying things like, I'm a good person. I've done a lot of good for the world. It's all bullshit deflection to keep me from taking responsibility for my own actions. I've built this entire platform on inclusivity and kindness.
Inclusivity and kindness. Anybody who uses those words unironically needs to be memed.
I lost sight of that in my own ego. I lashed out at people. I responded to hatred with hatred. I apologize for not being of character. The character that I promised you I all had. I hope that
For context, this is what we're talking about right here.
Fuck Trump. Fuck ICE. We are not mad enough. Fuck you, Yosef.
So he went on a big rant saying F Trump, F ICE, we're not mad enough, yada, yada, yada. He was a big tough guy about the whole thing. He took off his jacket. He rolled up his sleeves. He had careful editing. And now this is where he's at.
I hope that you can accept that. And if not, I understand. If you don't want to support me anymore, I understand. I hope that one day I can regain your trust soon. But for right now, I have to focus on the safety of my family. So I'll be back. I'll see you guys soon. I'm sorry, and I love you all.
Oh, you love to see it, man. You love to see it. So, again, man, these people, they lash out, they make threats, they go off, and then suddenly they have to deal with the consequences of their actions. And it's all projection. The better someone, like if someone constantly is just trying to tell you how good of a person they are, they're probably not a good person. You know, good people don't have to constantly tell you how good they are. Other people will tell you how good they are. They don't need to do it themselves because everyone else will do it. But this guy loves to tell you how good of a person he is, and now it is completely backfired. So hilarious to say the least. Okay, let's see here. Nubbin says, at my direction, that guy is tax. I think we knew what you were going to say right there too. Andrew CR says, Jeremy, in your expert opinion, what do you think of the nomination of Kevin Warsh to the Fed, and how would it impact the stock market? Thank you. Well, considering I am an expert on every single topic that has ever happened, and what I could do, let's do this. Let's do this like a typical YouTuber would. Okay. So I would stall for a minute. I would then pretend that I'm looking up something completely different. And then what I'm really doing is I'm Googling who this guy is, and I'll go to his Wikipedia page and I'll say, well, you know, I mean, considering, Kevin Warsh, during the aftermath of the 2008 financial crisis, he acted as central bank's primary liaison to Wall Street. He's got a lot of experience in that department. And so I will get a few more bullet points from Wikipedia and I'll pretend that I know what I'm talking about. That's what a typical YouTuber would do. Or I could say, I don't know who the fuck he is. So I'm not really sure. So I guess we'll just have to double check on that. Because that's what your standard YouTuber does, is Google shit, gets Wikipedia talking points, and then tries to pretend like they know what they're doing, because they cannot stand to admit that they don't know the answer to every fucking question. But not me. I have no problem telling you I'm retarded. X-Wing 6 right there. Harley Dave says, for a proper 199 super chat, Jeremy will also grow a schlong brush on his face. Yeah, dude, that's a wild mustache right there. It really is. Horny Alf says, fake apology tax. And Jeanette with the gifted membership. Taker says, at Tyrone's direction, Don dropped the soap. 8 o'clock says, nothing's more pathetic than a leftist apology, like you virtue signal even when you F up. Yeah, and it's always like the sigh at the beginning when a leftist gives the apology, the fake apology. It all starts out with like, I failed all of you, and I am sorry. I am sorry to my family, to my friends, to my subscribers, to everyone involved. I am sorry. And I recognize that I have to do better. And I'm going to donate to charities that benefit retarded Black children and women and gays. I'm just going to give all my money to them so you'll know that I'm a good person. I'm so sorry. And I hope that you'll forgive me. So Ministry Front Thing says, at my One Direction, Liam off the balcony. God dang, savagery. Blackguard for 20 says, what's hilarious to me about this guy is that he didn't have to release this version of him crying like a bitch. He could have reshot that like, my dude, don't let people see you crying over BS if you're not a man. Absolutely. Dude, crying on the internet is just not a good move in any capacity whatsoever. So it's just not, I would never recommend that, but some people just can't learn. Site Team says, let's see, Yosemite Sam better quit worrying about inclusivity and start thinking about affordability. I mean, like, what's his name? Mundane Matt. Remember when Mundane Matt got his YouTube plaque and he cried about it? I mean, just awful. Like, why would you do that? Why would you cry over getting a fucking YouTube plaque? It's the worst thing ever. But he did it, and it followed him around forever. Holy crap. Is he even a thing anymore? Like, is he still doing? I haven't heard about that guy in forever. What is this right here? President Trump calls ABC fake news reporter a loud person.
Who are you with? I'm with ABC News. You're a loud person. Administration and the IRS. Why are you suing? Who are you with? I'm with ABC News. You're a loud person. Very loud. Let somebody else have a chance. Can you answer the question? Why are you suing IRS? ABC fake news. You're suing. Go ahead. I didn't call on you. Go ahead.
You hear this bitch say, she told him to answer the question. It's amazing how Trump, it's like he has a detector and he can just figure out that they're going to be that type of weirdo. Listen to this bitch.
You're a loud person. Very loud. Let somebody else have a chance. Can you answer the question? Why are you suing IRS? ABC fake news. You're suing. Go ahead. I didn't call on you. Go ahead, please. Go ahead.
Oh, man. Absolute savage. That is beautiful right there. You're a loud person. Loud, obnoxious, and annoying. Look at this, dude. So TMZ is now reporting that Nicki Minaj calls Don Lemon a homophobic slur once again while on a podcast. Smoothie DJ, thank you for the raid, brother. Appreciate that. Hail to you. Hope to see you at the next meetup, man.
You called for Don Lemon's arrest over his church stunt in Minneapolis. He's since called you racist, unhinged, homophobic, and out of your depth. Anything you'd like to say to Don Lemon?
Cocksucker, stop.
And everybody loves this, by the way. Everybody loves this from her. This is great. You love to see it. Yeah, so I talked about it earlier, but yeah, man, it's still kind of shocking, man. Catherine O'Hara died at 71. The Home Alone mom, the legendary Home Alone mom, has passed away at 71. Rest in peace. Horrible to hear, so now the dad and the mom have both passed away from Home Alone. Terrible news. So sad. But again, her greatness will live on forever because Home Alone will live on forever. Home Alone 1 and 2, which are goated Christmas movies. But man, that's super, super sad. Again, didn't her and Macaulay Culkin appear together recently? I think. I feel like they appeared publicly together recently. It was really cool to see them together. So, yeah, they did. Yeah, I figured I wasn't misremembering that. So, that's horrible. Absolutely horrible. Let's see here. Oh no. Here we go. Ben Stiller. Let's see. Is this like Ben Stiller, the actor? Let's see. Is Ben Stiller whining about ICE? Is that what this is? Let's see. Is this Ben Stiller? I love our country, but like so many of us, I'm concerned about the future of our democracy. We've now seen the violent murder of American citizens killed in cold blood, broad daylight by masked ICE agents. These were our neighbors. Their lives ended by armed militias, entering our community with impunity. They were denied due process in life and dignity by death by an administration who refuted the reality of the world saw, shifting blame to victims and creating false narratives about their lives in those beautiful, fateful days. If Renee Good walked up to Ben Stiller at a convention, Ben Stiller would charge her $500 for a fucking autograph. If Alex Pretty would have walked up to Ben Stiller in public and asked him for a picture, Ben Stiller would have called his security and told him to get rid of this fucking lunatic. But because their narratives can be built for his leftist bullshit, now he's going to claim they were our neighbors. They were our friends. They were our families. But yet, if they walked up to you in public, you would tell them to go fuck themselves and to get the fuck away from you. These people are fucking nuts, dude. I'm not going to read all this bullshit if it's crying, but Ben Stiller, again, maybe picture from Happy Gilmore as the picture of Alex Pretty. Maybe. I don't know. But it's just crazy how many of these nut jobs are like Ben Stiller is a multi-millionaire. Like how many ever times over? I can't even tell you how many times over. And he has a mansion. He has private security. He has literally, he's at the top 0.0001% of people in this country. Okay. And he wants to sit there and act like he can relate to the everyday American. But again, this is how they treat these clowns.
Caring for people was at the core of who he was. He was incapable of causing harm. Alex carried patience, compassion, and calm as a steady light within him. Even at the very end, that light was there. I recognized his familiar stillness and signature calm composure.
Good Lord, man. Like, what in the hell are we talking about? They'll just lie to make up any narrative possible. Did you see this? Bruce Springsteen releases angry, highly political new anti-ICE music video titled Streets of Minneapolis. Oh, God. It's so bad. Oh, no.
Through the winter.
I haven't heard this shit at all. I haven't heard it. I don't even know if I could play it anyway. I'd probably get hit for copyright. Streets of Minneapolis. This is so fucking stupid. Oh my God. I'm not going to play it. But Streets of Minneapolis, which was uploaded to YouTube, Springsteen raged against the Trump administration and called some out by name in the song. Hollywood Clown Show is back. God. Oh, God, I got to hear this part. Hang on.
Should have stood and too dead left to die on snow-filled streets. Alex Pretty and Renee Good.
Oh, God. Oh, that's what. Luckily, we are at a place where we have real music, unlike Springsteen. You want to hear some real music?
Let's make our escape. Come on, let's go there. Let's ask, can we stay? Can you take me higher to a place where the line
I would legit watch a whole fucking concert of JD Advanced singing Creed songs. Like, that is $1 billion project. Somebody just make JD Vance with the Trump administration as his band sing Creed songs. I will pay big money for that. Like, please sign me up right now. Yeah, Bruce Springsteen he's always been this way, so this isn't like shocking to see him wind up in this place. That's who he is. That's who he's always been. So there you have it right there. We got I don't know if this is a true post or not, but this is the most Trumpian quote ever. If this is true, all right. Trump on his father, quote, he had one problem. At a certain age, about 86, 87, he started getting, what do they call it? Like an Alzheimer's thing. Well, I don't have it. That is the most Trump quote ever. If I've ever heard. Well, I don't have it. Thanks, Trump. Sounds just like him. Oh shit, it's so good. All right, so here is Don Lemon talking about Nicki Minaj.
Nicki Minaj got a gold card. Is that a citizenship card that she got? Did you guys see that? Is this the gold membership card, the gold citizenship card? Does that mean she's a citizen? United States of America, isn't it the whole thing that you can pay to get entry into the US and you get a gold card and then you become a citizen, right? Nicki Minaj has received Donald Trump's gold card, which grants her US residency. There you go. Told you. Told you. Told you. She got a gold card, a citizenship card. She has received the gold card, which grants her U.S. residency.
So the thing I do worry about this Don Lemon thing is that if it's not like, if this is just like a slap on the wrist, this will be good for Don Lemon's career. That's the truth of the matter. If this is just a slap on the wrist and he gets out, this will ultimately help him big time. That's why I hope that it's not just a minor little slap on the wrist. I hope that this is like some serious jail time that he has to deal with. If not, then yeah, that's all we're gonna see is him just benefit from this more than anything. So, let me see here. What is this? Jacob Fry says that trust and safety are why police are not allowed to ask illegals if they're undocumented. What?
What the separation ordinance also says is that our police officers, our public officials, will not ask the question as to whether a person is documented or not. Why? We want people of all backgrounds to call 911 when a crime is committed. We want people to engage with their police department and feel the trust in doing so, that they're not just going to get deported. That's actually a really important piece, not for purposes of immigration or politics. It's an important piece for safety in our.
That is incredible. That is an incredible leap in logic to say, hey, we don't want people to ask for, we don't want police officers to ask for documentation from people that might call in crime from other places. Like, what? Didn't he want to defund the police? He flirted with the idea of defunding police, but he wouldn't fully commit to what the lunatics wanted. And so that's why they shamed him at a rally right here. So this was the rally right here. So this is him right here. And this was during the Summer of Love bullshit. I think this is the George Floyd shit. And so he's at this defund the police event, and he wouldn't fully commit to everything they wanted. So they essentially shouted him down and made him leave their protest. It was a pathetic example of leadership.
Jacob Fry, we have a yes or no question for you. Yes or no, will you commit to defunding Minneapolis Police Department? What did I say? We don't want no more police. Is that clear? We don't want people with guns toting around in our community, shooting us down. You have an answer? It is a yes or a no. It is a yes or a no. Will you defund the Minneapolis Police Department? All right, be quiet, y'all. Be quiet, because it's important that we actually hear this. It's important that we hear this, because if y'all don't know, he's up for re-election next year. He's up for re-election next year. And if he says no, guess what the fuck we gonna do next year? Louder, one more time. Loud and clear. Louder. Yeah. I do not support full abolition. All right. Loud. Don't waste our time. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out. Go home, Jacob. Go home. 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 Shame! 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 Oh my God! I can't believe it! Shame!
So again, this is proof that no matter how much virtue signaling you do, it will never matter. This was Jacob Fry pretending to cry at the golden casket of St. George Floyd. And guess how much credibility that earned him with that crowd? Zero. They did not care one bit. So your bullshit, this is the most pathetic man in the country by a mile. They didn't care. Look at this shit. Look at this.
The morning. Troubles, they don't last.
Oh man, it's so funny. So your virtue signaling never mattered. They didn't care. Nothing you could do matters. What up, Jonas? No, this was in 2020. That was the 2020 Summer of Love. Nubbin for 10 says Nicki Minaj is based tax. Damn right she is. I'm a fan of her as a person supporting Trump. I'm still not going to listen to her music. Not interested in listening to her music, but I'm loving that she's supporting Trump. The Lego Batman Goon says, did you see Kathy Griffin call for liberals to make a list of MAGA and make a plan? I did. I'm glad you brought that up, as a matter of fact, because we need to talk about that. Let me pull that up right now. Thank you. I appreciate that. So yeah, I saw this last night, as a matter of fact, right when we ended Cobra Cast, I saw this right here with Kathy Griffin, who wants to make a list of MAGA people. Right. I gotta find it. Here we go. Right here. Kathy Griffin urges her followers to make list of MAGA in their community and start to plan.
Those of you that are awake, that see what's going on, what do you think the solution is? I think the murder of Renee Good, the murder of Alex Preddy, putting children on planes and taking them to detention centers, which are really concentration camps. Call it what it is. They're concentration camps in the United States of America in 2026. So take that in. And I know you don't want to participate in something radical. I don't either. I wish I could just go on the road and do my funny stories about celebrities or making fun of politicians, but not even have to acknowledge this. But it is happening all around you. It's happening around you. I live in Los Angeles. It's happening at targeted places in Los Angeles. And I think it's time to talk to the neighbors in real life. It's time to talk to your neighbors, find out if they're MAGA or not. Sorry, but we have to know who's on our team and start to plan. Is there a way we can do something as a community? When I hear from my followers in Minnesota, they describe a very sophisticated channel of a system of things that they do to help one another. And they use encrypted apps. And like I said, everyone has whistles and honks their horn, but they organize in small groups. And they have told me that they learned this from the George Floyd incident, because George Floyd was murdered 20 blocks away from.
Good God, man, these people.
These other murders, roughly. And so they said they learned a lot from that experience. So I'm just telling you guys, live your life, but be conscious of this. And if you're silent, you're complicit. Sorry, I know I'm being a judgy bitch, but that's how I feel. Here I am being preachy.
Can I be added to your list? Okay, can I be added to your list, please? Again, this goes back to the mindset of why I started to talk about being a Trump supporter in the first place, because I'll repeat what I have repeated many times. I was raised to not talk about religion and politics, just, argue about everything else, but there's really no point to bring up religion and politics. So argue about sports and video games and nerd shit, but don't do that. That's how I was raised. And so I've kind of, always had that approach. But in 2016, when I was a Trump supporter, and had I just started Geeks and Gamers, and it was getting a little bit of traction. And I was like, well, me as the owner of the company, I don't really feel the need to, talk about my politics publicly, because I don't think that that's good for a company to have a leader that is very political. So I'll keep my thoughts about Trump, to myself. But this was in 2016. And then I started to see the weaponization of being a Trump supporter by the left. And I started to see the left saying, we're going to out this person for being a Trump supporter. We're going to expose this person. And I was like, well, I don't want to have a community of people that are going to turn on me if they find out I'm a fucking Trump supporter. So guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to tell everybody I'm a Trump supporter and not fucking apologize for it, because if the left is going to weaponize that shit, then I might as well go ahead and, get out ahead of that and just say, yeah, I'm a Trump supporter. Fuck you. Because I don't want to have build up this following of people that as soon as they find out I support Trump, they're going to turn on me, because those people are little bitches. So anyway, and I think that's what has happened with a lot of people, where they're like, well, fuck you. Like, and again, this is how you have to respond to this. Like, attacks, labels, threats from these people. Like, you just have to let them know that it has no effect on you whatsoever. We don't care. You call me a racist. You call me a sexist. You call me everything. I don't care. It doesn't matter. No one gives a shit. So, and they're still here in 2026. They're still running the same narrative, the same bullshit narrative that they did before. Nandor says, Jeremy is a good person, Tax. Operations says, folks, I'm afraid I have some sad news for all of you. Actress Catherine O'Hara passed away at 71. Rest in peace, Kathy. Yeah, we've talked about it a few times now. Super sad. Looks like we got an article on geeksgamers.com. By the way, we finally are ready to announce details for Orlando. Ryan is going to talk about this on Friday Night Tights. But here it is. If you go over to geeksandgamers.com, if you click this banner right here, 2026 meetup RSVP, it will take you over to this page, and you can RSVP for the meetup in Orlando. It will be at Pat O'Brien's at City Walk at 7 p.m. There you have it. So you got to go RSVP for it. But we are set finally. And it should be a good one. It should be a good one. In fact, let me see if I can find this clip really quick. Let's see here. I think I've got it. Let's see. Of course, it's not pulling up for me right now. I wasn't prepared to show this, but I will. So a couple years ago, this was what the panel was, and our boy Benny Johnson was there. So here's
Geeks and Gamers panel to see and stay incredibly based. This was our first comic convention, so I didn't know what to expect when we walked into the Geeks and Gamers breakout session at MegaCon. Look at this packed room, wall to wall, people standing, room only, with some of our favorite creators on the internet: Nerdrotic, Critical Drinker, Eric July, RK Outpost, Ryan Kinnell, and Jeremy, the founder of Geeks and Gamers. What a kick-ass crew. It was an honor to be invited, and, well, I was never expecting this.
So that was good stuff right there. And we will be doing it again this year. So hopefully you guys will come hang out with us. It's going to be a lot of fun. Go over to geeksandgamers.com, click that link, and go ahead and RSVP so we can know, because we know there's going to be quite a few people there. We don't know how many, so we'll see how this all plays out. But more deets on Friday Night Tights as well. That's there's an article on geeksandgamers.com. Cam Man just dropped it, so I will pin that right now. Boom. There we have it. All right. Zerg says, on the left side of Lemon's brain, there is nothing right. On the right side of Lemon's brain, there is nothing left. It's tough being a lemon head. Thank you. Mayor of Bro Island says, Don Lemon is welcome on Bro Island. Magnum Norris says, at last my MAGA nipples can finally rest. Thank you, Magnum Norris. Aaron for 10 says, born in the USA, a song released in 1984 by Bruce Springsteen. 42 years later, can someone explain to Bruce that they weren't born in the USA? Yeah, he's an idiot, man. He's been an idiot for a long time. Let's see. Big Honk for 10 says leftists suddenly remember the Constitution exists when it's their team being held accountable. Then they throw quotes at you from the people whose statues they wanted to torn down just a few years ago. Absolutely. Magna North says if Don Lemon reigns free, then many a colon shall be put on blast. Laughing my ass off. Well, I just saw this, which puts it into jokes write themselves, okay? Jokes write themselves. When they ask Don Lemon to bend over and cough during the strip search. Damn. Just there, no other, we don't need to add any more commentary to that, okay? We don't need to add any more commentary to that. Yeah, I see. I guess there's a new Epstein files drop. People are going crazy over that. I guess Bill Gates, Bill Clinton. I don't know. I don't know all the details of it, but there's a new Epstein files drop that people are kind of going crazy over. And I guess people will then still say, there's no Epstein files dropped. Where's the Epstein files? I'm Don Lemon. I stormed a church for clicks on YouTube. Now I'm charged with the KKK Act. Freaking Trump memes are undefeated, dude. They really are. They really are. By the way, I just want to let everyone know, if in fact this happens to you, you should be concerned, okay? If in fact this happens to you, I don't even know what I would tell you to do at this point, because you're probably not in good shape. So please, if you see that Hillary Clinton has followed you and adds you to a list, you might be in some bad shape. So just be careful. Be careful with that. Oh yeah. Now I showed you this one a while back, but not a while back, like literally like a few weeks ago. But I do think that this puts it into perspective on how the leftists view things and how they can't get out of their own way. It's so funny. They constantly make Trump cool as hell. And I showed you this, but this ran across my feed and it's got 6 million views. It's not about the election. It's about sending a message. And in the pinned comment, this guy says, I can't believe I have to make this. I do not support Donald Trump. This video is very obviously making fun of him. Anyone in these comments making fun of Harris supporters or spouting MAGA bullshit as a moron, please feel free to unsubscribe if you support this felon rapist. Thank you. So the video is like, he thought that this is making Trump look bad, but it ends up making him look cool as hell.
And it's going to cause more anger among Muslims around the world.
There's plenty of anger right now. How can you have more?
You don't think it'll exacerbate the problem?
David, I mean, I know you're a sophisticated guy. The world is a mess. The world is as angry as it gets. Well, you think this is going to cause a little more anger? The world is an angry place. All of this has happened. We went into Iraq. We shouldn't have gone into Iraq. We shouldn't have gotten out the way we got out. The world is a total mess. The world is a mess, David.
Why would you think this makes Trump look bad? The most iconic villain in the last, 20 years, 25 years, when did Dark Knight come out? Fuck. But the most iconic villain in recent memory. Heath Ledger's Joker, it came out in 2008. So the most iconic villain in history, or one of, you could put him up there with Darth Vader and a few others, but he's right there. And so making Trump into Heath Ledger's Joker with the Joker score in the background makes him look cool as shit. Yeah, 18 years ago. Don't remind me that The Dark Knight came out 18 18 years ago. My goodness. 18 years. That is depressing. That is depressing as hell. I still remember going to see The Dark Knight opening night. And I'll just be honest with you guys. You guys are going to be jealous. You guys are going to be very jealous because, I am a social butterfly. And so I went to see The Dark Knight in 2008, opening night, with my mom. That's right. Such a player, such a glamorous lifestyle that I've been living. Went to see The Dark Knight with my mom. There you have it. See there? She wanted to see it. She ended up like being kind of freaked out over the whole thing. So she's like, it was good, but it was too intense. Like, yeah, it was awesome though. One of the greatest movies of all time, The Dark Knight. But anyway, them making this edit and then the guy getting in the comments crying about it and telling people to unsubscribe to his channel is pretty fantastic. So you'll love to see it. Jim Pieces, Constipation Springsteen has sucked since the 70s. Josh for 199 says, did you see Congress used Pretty's AI photos? I did see that. Packing Proton says, supposedly breaking new leaks indicate Kamala Harris was caught drunk while driving in Hawaii. I don't buy that. Where are you getting that fake news from? Let's see. Eggy Orphan says, you think Bruce was bad? Check out Flowbots. They are very active. I'll admit I like their older stuff, but been extremely cringe. I mean, I like a ton of bands who have massive TDS. So it's par for the course. Net Steeler says, I just now fell in love with you. If you were gay and if I were a man, boy, but I have what? But I have both thing always have. I so appreciate. What the fuck is this super chat? What is this super chat? I'm going to take it as a compliment, but it's weird. Jonas says, dude wearing a mask in 2026. Yeah, we talked about that one. Livid Pigeon says, no one expects the Minnesotan lack of questions. Ortiz says, First Amendment is free speech, religion, and press. Lemon disrupted the First Amendment. Fig clown. Udite says, notice she said stories about celebrities, not stories about other celebrities, because she knows she's not one. Try as she might. Jim P says, Boomer Griffin is 65, should retire. Bubba Dank says, interesting, a certain German dictator also made a list of people he didn't like. Kai Guy says, reminder, Obama deported 2.7 million illegals. Jack the Tech says, does no one realize Born in the USA was a swipe at America? Bruce has been a scumbag for years. Yeah, I think most people do. Piano Dean says, James Woods X has the clip of Hakeem Jeffries calling Kristi Noem to be put on ice permanently. Did he really say that? I got to see this now. Hakeem Jeffries. Let's see here. And then we'll put Noem. He did say that? I can't believe he fucking said that. When did he say this? Oh, here we go, right here. So this is House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries to DHS Secretary Kristi Noem.
It's disgraceful. She's got to go. We are dead serious. She needs to be put on ice permanently. She's got to go. And by the way, she's not the only one. It's disgraceful. She's
holy shit. Thanks, Eric. I'm sorry I didn't see it. That is crazy. That's the House Minority Leader, Hakeem Jeffries. Why has that not gotten more outrage? Like, that is absolutely crazy. That is a straight up threat. That is a straight up threat right there, is what that is. Imagine if Trump said that. They would go crazy. Trailer Park Obama, that's disrespectful to trailer parks, please. Thank you very much. Trailer parks have a lot more respect than Obama and Hakeem Jeffries. But I do see your point. Storm Shadow says, why did you allow Beardo to shave, wear a Batman costume, and complain at city council about ICE? Did G&G sponsor it? It was Beardo. It was Beardo because it's a gay man. Alex Arrowcave says, look at my took my grandma to see Dark Knight, Meta PC 199. Hell yeah. TVZ TQ says, wait, your mama took me to the Dark Knight too. Stormbreaker says, Jeremy, I just registered for Orlando MegaCon LFG. Let's go. Hell yeah, man. Can't wait to see all you guys out there. Christopher says, MAGA 2028 and forever. A pig business. Says, ding dong, the fig is gone. Classic staying lover, new member. Thank you, Sam. Says, first Cobra Cast, a long time chat lurker. Just got here, and I just need to say, love these iDots. FAFO Hail 199. Thank you, man. Happy you made it here. We appreciate that. Thank you so much. Jake, the movie geek, says, as a Christian, I would just want to say regarding Don Lemon, Jesus literally kicked people out of church. Net Sealer says, the hypocrisy to force businesses closed, to ask children to turn in their parents for having a get together, to force a vaccine. Who are the Nazis? General Duvalli says, Pam Bondi has sent a strongly worded letter to Don Lemon. Lean Back says, don't worry, MAGA, because Bondi is tough tax, I guess. Osmara199 says, these lolcows always use their families as sympathy shield when they get busted. That's how you know they effed up big time. Greenhead says, Jeremy, I won't lie. I'm worried this has motivated the left to vote in the midterms. What do you honestly think about that? I guess like the circumstances are going to matter. But like I said, I hope that this is not just a slap on the wrist for, for Don Lemon, because if it is, he's going to benefit from it greatly. And so that does worry me. So I guess time will tell. Max says, Limerick, Springsteen no longer is a boss. Big white women gather, no moss, yet we can all hail Don Lemon in jail. The charges, I hope they don't toss. Jonas Blue says, the left still can't meme. They never will be able to. CG says, did you hear that Catherine O'Hara packed? Yes, we've talked about it about 4 times now, and it is sad that she passed away. It's actually super sad. I hate that she has passed away and is no longer with us. And I think we're going to call it there because I've got to do another stream later tonight. Stormbreaker says, Jeremy, any suggestions for the meetup arrival time? I mean, you can, again, we do have the meetup. The RSVP is right here on geeksandgamers.com. So if you go to geeksandgamers.com and click that banner, you can go RSVP for the meetup Saturday night, MegaCon weekend in Orlando. Yeah, I mean, look, you're going to City Walk. There's a lot to do out there. There's a lot of restaurants. There's a lot of places to hang out. So you have to go through security and everything like that. So there's plenty of time. So you can get there as early as you want, and you'll have a lot to do. You'll have a lot to meet up, or a lot of people to hang out with probably before the meetup gets there. So really any time. I mean, a couple hours before gives you time just to go out there, because the meetup time is at 7 p.m. So if you get there at 5, you can go get something to eat. You can hang out. You can check out all the stores. So yeah. Okay. So you can go over there to geeksgamers.com, click that link, and the RSVP and the information is there. Nubbin says, see you later, Tax. See you later, Tax. Thank you, Nubbin, for all the support on this stream and in general. Appreciate it. Appreciate all of you. You got Friday Night Tights today. Will I or won't I be there? I don't know, but I know I'll be back for Cobra Cast later tonight. Matthew says, what was the soy mustache guy, not Jeremy with the fake mustache, trolling people? No, he was not trolling people. No, he was for real. He's this, I guess he does like fitness influencer bullshit. So he's a lefty big time. Magna Norris for 20 says, I was told that Macho Man Randy had a kid with a Japanese lady, and when it came out, the child says, oh yeah. What the Fuck, Magnum Norris. Good to see you, brother. Hadn't seen you in a while, so it's good to see you. Time tonight, probably 8 p.m. Eastern or 9 p.m. Eastern. Depends on how late F&T goes, but it probably I would think 8 p.m. EST is probably a good sweet spot for CobraCast. So probably 8 p.m. EST tonight is when I'll be back live again, and we will see what happens with the Don Lemon stuff between now and then, and we'll cover all of that. So thank you guys so much. Really do appreciate it. Oh, Patriotic Eagle says, consider this my tax for using your Homer Simpson meme. Hail, baby. That's it, man. I appreciate it. All right, guys, have a good evening, and we will talk to you later.